What up, my super tubers? I am back with another epitome of geekdom Q&A, talking the one thing I love talking about, and that's Dragon Ball, because I can't stop talking about it. It's a sickness, it really is. So we've got some more questions here that were submitted a few days ago. Saiyan Baller. That's right, folks. I said Saiyan. Bow down. No, seriously. Saiyan Baller submitted some questions over to me, and in one of the videos that I did, I think it was the previous Q&A. I'm thinking about setting it up in the future to where I don't know if I should do like an Ask FM or just keep. I'm probably just gonna keep it in here for now, so everybody can submit their questions. And really, the purpose of questions is not so much because I am this, extremely knowledgeable Dragon Ball superior intellectual mind, even though I am. It's more so to stir up discussion amongst the community. And like I said in the previous video, I'm very happy that I found this YouTube community. And of course, there's other communities too, like Kanzenshu. There's a few of them out there, but it's cool, man. It really is cool that we can talk and discuss Dragon Ball, and that I can do it with hardcore fans. Like I said, a couple of my friends are hardcore fans. Most of my friends like Dragon Ball, like I said, but only a couple of them are hardcore on that level. There's a certain level where once you pass that level, you're like an extreme hardcore. And, shout outs to all of you who are in that level where you've seen the show a bunch of times. You don't care what language it's in. You've collected the show throughout the years. You've bought it a couple times, even though you shouldn't have. You still did. You play the video games all the time. You go on YouTube and watch these videos and a bunch of others. That's when you're a hardcore fan, when you just can't get enough. But, of course, eventually you will have enough and take a break and then come back, because everybody's like that. So, Saiyan Baller, shout outs to Saiyan Baller, submitted these questions, and I got some great responses here. And I haven't planned out these responses. I'm literally doing them off the hop, off the cuff. But I think they're going to provide some great discussion. First question. What are your top 5 DBZ movies? Now, before we get into that, I just want to say, Bardock and Trunks are just TV specials. They're not movies, so we're not putting them in here. Same thing with episode of Bardock, Yo Son Goku and His Friends Return. We're talking about just the 13 original movies, Battle of Gods, and Fakatsu no F, which I have not seen yet. Also, I want everybody to check out, if you haven't yet, check out Dragon Ball In Depth. 2 episodes are up now. I'm putting them in the link below in the discussion. Of course, subscribe, comment, and spread the word. So, without question, and I know that Corey and the Pussy's not going to agree with me. Shout outs to Corey and the Pussy, but I like Battle of God. That's my number 1 movie, right off the hop. Not just because it's quote-unquote canon, but because it's prettier, because it's got the new 2013 animation in it, 2012 animation, but because that was a great movie, because I felt it was a very intelligently written movie. I felt that the new characters of Beerus and Whis were great characters in that film. We're talking about just that film, not what they do in Fakatsu no F, even though Whis does seem pretty awesome in Fakatsu no F. But Beerus is great. The fact that a lot of people had an issue with the fact that Beerus wasn't really truly evil. Like, people had a problem with that, he's not really a threat because he's not really that evil. Well, I like that character, though. I like the fact that he's kind of a mirror image of Goku, in that all he likes to do is just, like, eat and train and fight. And Whis is, like, similar to that as well, except I don't think he likes to fight as much. But he's like Goku. And the beautiful thing about this movie is that the film really, I think, added layers to Goku and Vegeta's characters that weren't there before. And the other thing is that the film acknowledged some of the tropes of the Buu saga that people had a problem with. For example, Beerus goes in there and just spanks Gotenks to oblivion, shutting him out. The scene, of course, where Vegeta, screams, "That's my Bulma," and, goes crazy. I know that a lot of people love that scene because Vegeta got to shine, and because Vegeta showed emotion for his wife, which he almost never did before to that level. That was cool. A little weird. Some people didn't like that because it was kind of out of nowhere, but we can assume that in the years after the Buu saga, before the Battle of Gods, we can assume that he grew more attached to her, which makes sense. I mean, that's, even though she can be kind of annoying, that is his wife, and she did give birth to his son, so that's just how it is in life, you know what I mean? Unless you have, like, no chemistry. But I don't think that matters for them. So, and then Goku, of course, the big character twist is that the thing about Goku, and I don't know if you guys picked up on this or not, is that, in my opinion, Goku's character in the Buu saga is extremely annoying. He's, I love Goku in the first, in the Vegeta saga, Frieza saga, Cell saga, but in the Buu saga, he comes off like this know-it-all prick. He hides the SSJ-3 from everybody, including Vegeta. He then goes out and says that, I could have beat Buu. I could have beat him. I just wanted something for the kids to do. That kind of stupid shit, it really is eye-rolling at this point. And I like the fact that, I also don't believe that either. I don't think he could have beat Fat Buu, but that's just my opinion. But I like Fat Buu, so. And I like how in Battle of Gods, Beerus pretty much humbles him. It was humbling. Because he got this big upgrade, he feels his power, but it wasn't enough. Beerus, in like 2 seconds, threw the sun at his ass, and he was done. And he made Goku give up. He's like, I lost. I thought that was a great moment for Goku. I thought it really put everything in a perspective that, even though you did do all these great things, no one's taking that away from you. There's always someone better, which is the first lesson he learned in the Budokai back in Dragon Ball with Roshi, Jackie Chun, and you gotta stop being so damn cocky, because there are levels that you didn't even know existed, and here they are. So that's my number one. I'm not going to do a full review. It's just that's some of the reasons why I love that movie. Plus, had lots of great action, too, and it just looked great. Now, after that, going back to the original 13 movies, this one may surprise you. So, most Dragon Ball fans, especially the ones that grew up on the dub, will tell you that their favorite movies are Janemba, Broly, or The Tree of Might. That's like the 3 most common answers. And I think the Tree of Might movie is more of a nostalgic purposes as to why they like it. Because the Tree of Might movie was cut up into episodes during syndication. So a lot of people, it's kind of weird, but a lot of people saw like the Namek saga, and then they had the Tree of Might movie cut up into 3 movies or 3 TV episodes. And obviously there were some edits going on. There's a whole thing about that I'm not going to get into right now, but and I think people just saw it as being part of the story, so they're nostalgic for the tree. And I just remember when I was back in high school, when they were airing the episodes and, on Toonami for the first time, a lot of my friends would say, well, wait for the Tree of Might. And by then I already had a bunch of tapes, but I did not have that movie. That wasn't one of the ones I owned. And we all just assumed that the Tree of Might took place after Namek. And then later, as we get older and we discover the show, we find out that no, it's a movie, it's non-canon, etc. Well, those 3 movies, Brawly and Janemba are very popular. The Gogeta is very popular. That's not my number 1 or my number 2 besides Battle of Gods. Number 1 of the original 13. No, my favorite movie is The World's Strongest. I love that freaking movie. Go back and watch that movie. Whether it be I recommend watching either the Japanese version or watch the original Ocean dub Pioneer release, the one that was came in a 3-pack. What a great movie! I have such fond memories of that movie. Not just because there is a lot of nostalgia there, but I absolutely adore the film. The animation is incredible. The direction and the camera work and the way that the scenes were put together is masterful. The soundtrack is also incredible, too. A lot of those themes were reused for the Frieza saga for Frieza, but they first debuted in that movie. It's also kind of the last bridge between Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. After that, we're all the way in Dragon Ball Z because of 2 things. Number 1, Bulma's a big center of the plot, and Roshi gets to fight in that movie, which I thought was awesome. Not to mention they did the awesome spot, the teacher-student Kamehameha, where it's Roshi, Krillin, and Goku firing a Kamehameha together. I love that. Love that scene. I'm just smiling right now thinking about it. But also, the last time you hear the instrumental version of Manga Fushigi Adventure is in that movie when Goku's doing the Kaioken and he's ripping right through the fat yellow guy. I love how Goku has to fight all these different challenges, like the 3 Guardians, those 3 cybernetic biofighters. Then he has to fight like the spikes with the balls on, or the balls with the spikes on them. Then he has to fight Piccolo, who's turned evil again. And again, another throwback. So that's 3. That's 3 Dragon Ball throwbacks in that movie. Just absolutely adore that movie. Dr. Wheelo is a great villain. I love when he comes out of his wall and he's all fucking cyborged up and there's lightning everywhere. The visuals in that movie and the artwork are beautiful. So that's my number 2. Now from 3, 4, and 5, it really is a toss-up. Because I really do like the first Broly movie. I could do without the second or third one. The second one's slow as molasses. And the third one is like the most hated Dragon Ball movie, from what I understand. And really, I kind of like it more than the movie 11. I like it a little more than movie 10 because it's cool that we get to see Krillin, number 18, and Goten and Trunks kind of get their own movie. I like that. Like, I like it when it's not about Goku and Gohan. That was cool. But the first Broly movie, there's actually a plot there. There's a story. There's backstory. Things develop. You kind of know where it's going, but you're not sure. With the exception of Vegeta being a bitch boy in that movie, that's my favorite movie. So, of the Broly ones, I mean. So, after that, I really, really like movie 1, Return My Gohan, or as it was called here, Dead Zone, Dragon Ball Z, the movie. Love that movie because that movie acts as a bridge between Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. Introduces a lot of the themes that would be prevalent in Dragon Ball, including Gohan's power and the secret power he's got inside of him, and the fact that Goku and Piccolo team up in that movie. I love that movie mainly because it's beautifully animated. I love the kind of the architectural design because it's got like a lot of Chinese like mythology to it. Like when you watch the film, you'll notice the buildings are very Chinese. The red backdrop. It's got the really good color palette with the whole red. Chi-Chi gets to fight. That's cool. Goku jumps in there and fucking, rips ass. Piccolo, and also the music in that movie has like the best themes in Dragon Ball in that movie, like the Piccolo theme, the battle theme, with the violins. In fact, the theme where Goku first transforms into SSJ1 on Namek debuts in this movie at the very end when Gohan pushes Garlic Jr. into the Dead Zone. I love that movie. That's up there too. It's a great movie, very easy to watch, and a great introduction to Dragon Ball Z. You want to get somebody into it? That's the movie to watch. However, I do recommend watching Dragon Ball. I don't know how many times I have to say this. There's so many people who have not seen Dragon Ball and only Z. You need to watch Dragon Ball because you're missing half the story. It was not meant to be watched just with Z. You got to watch the whole thing, start to finish. That's the right way to do it. So I really like Metal Cooler as far as just an action movie goes. Obviously, there's plot issues and things like that don't make any sense. Like, I don't know, why would Goku use a ship to get to New Namek when he can just teleport there? I mean, I know, no, he can teleport there. He can shortcut there and take everybody with him, but whatever. That's not the point. Action in that movie's great. And I love the whole, like, Ultron thing. Like, I have a feeling that the people at Toei who made that movie were definitely fans of Ultron, the comic character, who's now got his own movie, of course, with the big Getty star and everything. Or as we called it back in high school, the big ghetto star. But the first Cooler movie, I think, is a much better written film. I think it has much better pacing. Again, more backstory. Very, very well written backstory. How Cooler, he didn't want to interfere with Frieza because Frieza was too reckless. He wanted to teach him a lesson. And then it turns out that he should have been, because he could have killed Goku as a baby and he chose not to. And it turns out that he was the one that was taught the lesson. I also love that scene where he's like on an abandoned planet and he's just sitting there on a throne. Like, why would you even do that? Who knows? But and of course, Cooler's 5th transformation, where he's got the whole Shredder thing going, that was awesome. Even though the fight scenes and I thought were way, way better in the Metal Cooler movie, Battle of the Strongest versus the Strongest, or Clash Strongest versus Strongest, whatever. I think it's Battle of the Strongest versus Strongest. The Saikyo Tai Saikyo movie 5, I think it's just a better flowing movie, start to finish. And then, Krillin and Gohan and Piccolo get their own little shine, too. So I like that movie. And movie 4 gets a lot of hatred. I don't really know why. I guess the fake Super Saiyan form just pisses... Oh, there I said Saiyan again. It's... Oh, my God. But no, people hate that movie, yo. I don't really understand why. I love that movie. I mean, the dub sucks, putting in a bunch of rock bands at stupid places that doesn't even fit, bands that are no longer relevant nowadays. Just that's such a 90s thing, yo. 90s anime and their random rock songs and their dubs. I'm glad that era is over. If you're going to put rock songs in, don't just pick random, I'm stupefied! Yeah, come on. But, or maybe that was another movie, but I think that one had it too. I like that movie a lot. Movie 9, I thought, was beautifully animated, but I felt that it was lacking in story. But the animation in that movie is incredible. You got to watch that movie on a big TV and with the sound blaring and everything. It's awesome. So, okay, let's see what we got so far. Battle of Gods, The World's Strongest, The First Broly, Cooler, and Movie 1. Those are my top 5. And I made a few other honorable mentions there as well. Movie 13 is the most cinematic movie of all the films. That one's fun to watch, but I don't really watch it too much, but it is a fun little movie, the one with Tapion. That's a fan favorite too. And of course, Janemba, everybody loves Janemba, but I think with the Janemba movie, I think it's more so Gogeta and Janemba, because Janemba's awesome and Gogeta's awesome, but everything else, Hitler too. Hitler was pretty funny. So that's a good movie too. Don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking that movie at all. Those are my top 5. So there you go. Moving on. Can you do a video on the continuity errors of the Dragon Ball manga? Now, I'm not sure if he's talking about the errors of just the manga, or if he's talking about the problems with the adaptation, the anime adaptation, and how it created more errors. Might need a little clarification on that, my friend. But as far as that goes, that's something for down the road. I could do it. Don't get me wrong. Because there are a few continuity errors. Not as many as in the TV show, but they're there. But what you're talking about right there is a big project. And it could take some time. But it is a big project. And I may actually need some help with that. Because I might need to discuss it with a few other people so that to make sure I don't forget anything. Because I am worried about forgetting something in there, especially the manga. I've read through the manga a couple times, but I'm still missing a few. Like, I've read it a couple times, but one time was a long time ago, and I've read through some parts of it, but I don't have it memorized, so I'd have to go back and read it all. But it is a possibility down the road. Last question. What is your vision for the future of a Dragon Ball franchise? I'm not Toriyama, so my vision doesn't really count. But if it did count, it would probably be the same as yours. More movies, more product, more good video games. You can't keep it going forever because everything ends. But as long as the voice cast is alive and as long as people want to pay for it, they're going to keep doing it, and they should keep doing it. I do have my concerns because, like I've said before, Masako Nozawa is like 80. And obviously, her life, the life of another human being, means a lot more to me than Dragon Ball. But it will sadden me if she does pass away, because to me, she is the voice of Goku. And of course, the Funimation cast is a lot younger, so that's going to continue. But she's the voice of Goku. She's been the voice of Goku for good Lord, 30 years almost. And, you know, it's almost like if one of the core Simpsons actors dies, like Dan Castellaneta or Nancy Cartwright, you might as well end the show, man. It's just not going to be the same. Nobody can do it like that, you know. It's just not the same. But anyways, I don't want to speak morbidly here. I hope we see more. I hope we see more movies. I have another video up talking about, you know, will we see another Dragon Ball Z TV series? That might answer your question a little better than here, because like I said in that video, and I'll put the link to it below. I said in that video that I don't think we're going to see a new TV show, but we might see one in a few more years, maybe a decade or so, when they readapt the manga. We may see that, but I don't see there being a new TV show right now. But as far as the future goes, I don't know, because it's like Xenoverse is a great idea, a twist on the old Dragon Ball games. Fakatsu no F is coming out. I hope we see more. I want to see more movies. I wish they would put out one movie a year, but actually make them good. Like really, really think about the plot and really make it a good continuous story. I would hope that they make movies for the next 4 or 5 years. Just new Dragon Ball movies once a year, like Disney wants to do with Star Wars. That'll make me happy, and it'll make a lot of money. Anyways, I am done. Leave a comment below. Subscribe. Spread the word. Thank you. I really humbly appreciate it. I'll be back with another one of these. I don't know when exactly, but I will be back as long as the questions keep coming. Leave them below, and catch you down the road.